classes in session. Continuing on with the Atomic Attraction, we're on chapter 39. Almost through with the book. A couple more chapters left, and then I'll start a new book, probably Evolution of Desire. But there's been a lot of people have gotten some good stuff from this, I think. So I'll start a new book. I didn't think it'd be so so popular, but I think a lot of people looked at a lot of the stuff. So anyway, chapter 39. I want men to get more attractive and have better time dating. And these books helped me a lot. Learning how to be more attractive, and then the next book would be Evolution of Desire, which will teach you about human mating. So if I'm able to summarize and simplify those, that'll be a great 1-2 punch for your dating life. It was for mine. So chapter 39, don't play it safe. A ship in port is safe, but that's not what ships are built for. Grace Hopper. Yep, a ship in port is safe, but that's not what ships are built for. Grace Hopper. That is true. You got to venture out. Especially in dating, you got to be bold. And there were numerous times, when, I didn't want to go on a date, or I had a date and I'm like, no, I don't want to meet this person. What if it goes bad? Maybe I'll just cancel. But I knew every time that I felt that way, it was better to just go. And every time I learned something, even when I had a bad time, I learned something, And sometimes, maybe I could have not gone. And the times were so bad, I probably should have stayed home. But for each one, especially my mistakes, I learned more on my mistakes than I learned on my successes. And that's true in life. So, through trial and error, I learned from all my errors. And that's why I'm able to kind of speak on this stuff. It's because I was bold enough to go out there, meet women, sit through the discomfort of, the first initial meeting, the first initial, getting to know them, or, right before you're going to meet them, and not knowing what to expect. And, that could be nerve wracking. So you gotta face that discomfort and just go do it, and I've had a ton of fun with women, and, I learned a lot. So anyway, I like to try to bring my wisdom to other people. When it comes to life and relationships, most men like to play it safe. This playing it safe strategy is a reluctance to upsetting women. If you want to create any real lasting attraction with women, you must be able to venture out of your comfort zone. Correct. Attraction does not grow in safety and security. Attraction grows in a swamp of anxiety and fear. Correct. Jealousy and sadness. All of the emotions we try so hard to avoid in daily life are the same emotions you must embrace if you want to build attraction with women. Case number 28, polarize her emotions. And case number 28 is Rick and Heather. And Rick's on a date with Heather, and they're having a dinner, and she's having a glass of wine, and he's talking about his 1966 Mustang he wants to rebuild. And, I guess they've been boyfriend and girlfriend for a little bit, and she's like, God, that's so dumb. He's going to spend $15,000 on this vintage car. And she starts being really rude and kind of like, you're so dumb. Just get a new one. That stupid rust bucket of a, Mustang. He's like, no way, man. It's cool. And so she's being rude. And so Rick takes a glass of wine and basically dumps it over on the table into her lap. And she's like, oh my God. And she gets up all pissed off. But after a while, she goes home, takes a shower, gets out of her clothes. She got this wine all over her. And the guy said, when he dumped the wine on her, he said, that's for being a bitch. And she actually respected him more after she got home, after she yelled at him and everything. She respected him more for him standing up for himself. So always stand up for yourself. Don't let women push you around, for sure. Let's see. Modern culture states that people's emotions are sacred territory. We must never upset them in any way. If you go through life trying not to upset women, you will have little effect on women's feelings and emotions. Correct. You cannot sit there and just, happy wife, happy life does not work, gentlemen. And she knows if you're trying that route, and she doesn't like that happy wife, happy life. Women don't like it. Um, and if a woman feels anything for you, she will focus her attention elsewhere. Oh, if a woman feels nothing for you, if a woman feels nothing for you, she'll focus her attention elsewhere. Yes, women need to get their emotions stoked from something and by someone. Women need to feel their emotions because their emotions are a centerpiece to women's life. I've been saying that through this whole book and through all my stuff. I talk about this all the time. Every interaction is laced with emotions. These emotions can be either positive or negative. Women are feeling creatures and are driven by their emotions. Correct. That's huge. You got to understand that. If you don't understand that one thing about women, then you don't understand anything. You have to understand that one thing. Research into attraction discovered that women are attracted to men that inspire feelings of anxiety and uncertainty. Yes, they love it. But that one question still needs to be answered. Why are women more attracted to men that make them feel anxious and uncertain? A study carried out by the University of Chicago finally shed light on this question. When researchers reported when people are much more likely to work hard and pay a higher price for a reward when the reward is uncertain rather than known, the researchers in the study noted that people are often pushed harder when people have the fantasy to win big in much the same way that than when people are when people are playing the lottery. People are driven by hope and the knowledge that it is possible to get what we want, even if the odds are stacked against us. As humans, we have an insatiable desire to bring order into our lives by resolving the uncertain and bringing the light of the unknown into the understanding. Once we begin to understand and appreciate this aspect of human nature, it is possible to understand how feelings of anxiety can have such a profound and dramatic effect on the human condition. Anxiety is not a positive emotion for women to experience, but anxiety, without a doubt, builds attraction by focusing a woman's attention on the source of her discomfort. That is you. You are the source of her discomfort. So she's focusing her attention on you. There is no point in trying to make a woman feel good all the time. That is futile. You must be able to weather a woman's chaotic emotions whenever they surface. You should never attempt to play it safe with women. If your goal is to spark attraction and maintain interest over the long haul or long run, you must a woman to fear anger. Okay, you must you must basically deal with a woman's fear, anger, sad, bitter, frustrated. So you have to be able to face this. When a woman, you got to weather the storm of, when a woman is feeling angry, sad, bitter, frustrated. Let's see. Nervous, anxious, resentful, um, and yes, and disappointed, yes, envious, right. Only then can you expect to grab a woman's attention and inspire attraction that most men can only dream about. Correct. If you can weather those storms, and not realize that you're not responsible for a woman's feelings. That's something very important. Another, additional, piece of, facts is you're not responsible for women's feelings, and you can't get too wrapped up in them. You can't, basically take their feelings too seriously. You must deal with them. You are not her therapist. You're not there to solve her problems. You can definitely empathize. You can definitely recognize. I understand why you feel that way, but do not sit there and try to solve her problems. She does not want you to solve her problems. She wants you to recognize and see why she could feel that way, maybe. And one of the best things I've learned is I can understand how you feel that way. And then just listen. You don't have to do anything else, and she'll go on and talk and talk and talk. And then after all that's said and done, she'll be much better. So anyway, that's it, boys. That's chapter 30. I think it's 39. And we'll see you on the next one.